Okay, this video is about the second stimulus check update for June 13th and what states are approved for the pandemic EBT SNAP card. So let's begin. Okay, great. If you're watching this video on YouTube, my YouTube channel, make sure to click the link to nicholasbrowninc.com. You're going to see the recent article, which is the recent article will be for June 13th. Just depends on the date that you follow this. So let's begin. But before I begin, make sure you watch at the end of this video. You're going to get the source to download the list for the pandemic SNAP EBT card state list. So make sure to watch it at the end. I'm going to give you the state list and I'm going to give you the resources also. Okay. So this week's overall stimulus check update for June 13th shows that Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell is still not ideal on passing the HEROES Act, by which the Republicans voted it on arrival. They're not with that, which I made a video about that in an article, recent article, about how Mitch is not ideal on the HEROES Act, the prices, the amount, not the price, the amount of stimulus check that they want to issue out. So it got to come to an agreement between the Republicans and the Democrats. So they got to meet halfway. It just haven't happened yet. Okay, so he's not ideal. So the Republicans, they voted that. As soon as it hit their desk, they voted that. Okay, so they have an issue with the 3.5 trillion cost, which they feel is way too costly. One of the main points is the high cost is the stimulus check, the personal check that you're getting. So plenty of politicians would like to see it replaced from off the bill, which plenty of the politicians, if we had to guess between the Democrats and the Republicans, who do you guess? The Republicans. They're not in on that. They're in on a different type of stimulus bill. They want a stimulus bill that covers the economy, which leads to now, which the Treasury Secretary Steven Munchin spoke. So, being the Republicans control the Senate, the chance of not seeing another stimulus check was likely. But this week, Treasury Secretary Steven Munchin spoke with the Senate Committee on Small Business and Entrepreneurship. Did a video also. Check the playlist. You'll see the video where why, and you'll get the sources. If you're here watching this on YouTube, check out the article. Click there to my article or watch the playlist. You'll see why. It explains more of that, why he's against that. But here's a basic statement that I wrote on here. He stated that I think we're going to seriously look at whether we want to do more direct money to stimulate the economy. I definitely think we're going to need another bipartisan legislation to put more money into the economy. The Republicans are more on voting yay for stimulus checks that go toward the businesses, the employers, the economy. So they also have, it's up in the air where if the HERO Act does go along, or any stimulus check that goes to a yay with both parties, they want to do this type of stimulus check, which, by the way, Trump has the last say. This is his team. Okay, and the Republicans have their say on this. So if they have this between $450 to $600 for 2 weeks or that month, they want to give you a check between $450 to $600 once you go to work. So let's just say you go to work Monday this week. The following week you get your check plus you'll get a stimulus check of $450 to $600. If you get paid, the next paycheck was weekly, bi-weekly, or whatever, you'll get another. I'm just giving you an example how they work. So they want to give you 2 checks for just as a bonus, as they feel like a perk, or a stimulus rather, for you going back to work, so they can help build the economy. So that's what they're weighing on. Okay, so this also what's happening now is President Trump's advisor Larry Kudlow, which, check the playlist. I got a video more depth on that. Got the articles more depth on that. He's saying, I'm going to read this that I read on my article, that now brings us to the point of what also one of President Trump's advisor, Larry Kudlow said, that he thinks the focus should be on less rescue, which is you, us, us, and more incentive. suggesting, as I said before, a $450 return to work bonus. That's what I was speaking on. So between you're hearing the grapevine, 450 to 600. That's what they're looking at. So they're weighing in on that, but they kicked out instantly the HEROES Act. Not for that, okay? They want to give out stimulus checks. It's just what type of stimulus checks and who will get the stimulus check. The working economy or people of the United States, that's home, or they're trying to take care of their family needs. They need food, clothing, shelter, right? Need money for that to survive, right? They're trying to weigh off on that and get you back to work so they can get the economy up. And it's also political too. This year is you see the campaigns are starting to happen now. You see President Trump starting to visiting states without aware of what's overall that's happening. That just happened recently these last 2 weeks, which I don't want to get on that point. You know my point if you read this. But anyhow, let's get back to the focus. I want to make this video brief. I just want to give you information about the status of his second stimulus check and what's going to happen. So, as I said before, that now brings us to the point of what also one of President Trump's advisors, Larry Kudlow, said that he thinks the focus should be on less rescue and more incentive, suggesting a $450 return to work bonus. Which just to give a side note on this, when we're talking about the economy, some people are making more from unemployment than if they go to the regular job. Think on that. So, a side note, if I'm at home making more money, working less hours, and I'm getting a check, an unemployment check that's more, and some checks are more, even if you go back to work and you add that 450 to 650, that's still more for some people that's unemployed, that's drawing unemployment. So they got to weigh in on that. So they got to stimulate, you got to push people to get off their rears to get back to work, if there's any position available. So everything is going down. So it's just a big test, okay? So feel free to read my full article and watch the video link below. Have that link below. If you're watching the article, you're watching on the YouTube, or you reading this article. Whatever they decide, the Republicans have capped the bill at $1 trillion, which may severely limit the amount of a stimulus check, which we're talking about, a personal check to you guys, where that's what you're waiting on, your second check. That's what I'm explaining here. So Americans will have to wait some to find out what, which when it says this, American will have to wait to find out some of what. You're looking in, they're weighing in between July and actually August. Check the playlist, got that information titled too. See the videos, get to the articles, click the resources, do your due diligence. But they're weighing in from July to August. Just remember, because some people are getting confused on the stimulus. You got loans, you got grants issued out as stimulus, but the purpose of this video where we're watching is your personal. You want your own personal check. You got your first, you want your second. That's the status of this, right? So, just want to explain that. Republicans are not with that. They're not with steady issuing out those personal checks, stimulus check, and you're not doing anything, you know. Democrats understand that we need to stay home, get our stuff back healthy, adjust with the employers, learn to adjust with your laptops, desktops, learn to adjust. You still can be productive, you know, but you don't want to get back out to the world outside and raise back up the virus. Now you got to come back in home, close your businesses, request more stimulus check for personal health, because here's an example, the pandemic EBT SNAP card, when I'm giving you an example, they have to approve that, extend that. That's an example. So what's your thoughts on that? I'm just giving my thoughts. If you rush, because some people feel like we're being rushed back to our jobs, and some people are being rushed, they don't have a job, and unemployment's cutting out, Social Security, all that stuff. So it's just a big issue on why and how, or how and why now. Okay, so here's the full read, other partial read. This is where I got this from. So you can go here and do the due diligence. If you go to the article, you can read more about that, of what have overcame over the week for Munchin stated, Larry Kudlow, all that good stuff. Okay, so now what states are approved for the pandemic EBT SNAP card? What I did below, you will see partial of it. You want to see these pictures here on the if you're watching on YouTube channel, you'll see it on my website, nicholasbrowninc.com. Click there, head there, you'll see the recent article posts that I have. These have the states, which this here is coming from. This first picture you see here, this is coming from, the source here is CBPP, which CBPP stands for Center on Budget and Policy Priorities. Okay, so you can click there and do your due diligence on there. But what I did too is, here's the key for watching that in the video. Click that newsletter. You're gonna be able to download this here and all the resources. I got your resources set up with other previous resources I got added on to the economic pay information, where you get your stimulus check. I got that source for get my payment. I got that added on. So I'm steady, daily, hourly, every other day. I'm steady putting updates on the newsletter. So click that newsletter, click that. You'll see these sources and resources, the links, and any other links I had before this, prior to this. But here's an example here, so we can cut this short. Thanks for your time. So what you do here, you see where it says yes or no. These are all the states. But if you scroll down here, the purpose of this here, provides benefits for households with children missing school meals. Because what the purpose of this chart, people are reaching out. You want this chart is, people your kids are graduating now, right? Or kids are out of elementary school. Now it's time for summer school. They don't have any summer school or any programs or any gyms or anything to go out, or limited, right? So what we're doing now is they're going to extend, I'm pretty sure, the PEBT. Don't quote me on it. This is where I'm giving you the source here. Okay, so the USDA tied in with the PEBT provides. So if I click this, you see how it changes, yes or no. The one is grayed out. These are the states that are not tied into this. The ones that are yellow are tied in. That's the purpose. So now I gave you the link and the source. If you see the picture here on here, if you scroll down here, I added, or it should have been on here. If it's not on there, I'll update it. We'll update it. You will see the states here, which you can link the newsletter. Click the download the PDF, the checklist. And it's going to show you, it's going to click you here, it's going to click you to this site here, where these are the following states that have been approved, which this is more update too. If you see June 2nd 2020, I have these resources tied on to the newsletter, so you get that email, download that also. Okay, you go to the site. So for that example, everything is changing. If you open this up, it's going to give you the supplement snaps. I guess the status is going to show the request and the status and what's approved. This way you can constantly go to this. Everything is different. Fresh fruit, vegetable programs, alternate sites approved. It gives you an example of what they're approved for and why. For example, if I go to Texas, everything varies because this is distributed out by state government. Okay, I'm pretty sure it is. Don't confirm me on that, but nevertheless, don't worry about this. Here's your source to get you going. This is survival. You need the stimulus part, stuff tied to the stimulus to what? Keep you going. So